Hi everyone, back on August 18th to give you an update on what I was able to accomplish today. And I have a big smile for a very good reason. I finished working on Pandemic today for my prompt. I haven't finished working on it completely. I just made some progress on it today. I did 230 stitches. I needed 200 and I was able to use it for 2 prompts. The final one in a challenge that actually ends tonight at midnight, so I barely got that one in under the wire. And then it was my final letter P in Spontaneous for 24 hours of cross stitch. So that means I've completed all 3 acrostics I was working on, and I have completed all of the prompts for the challenge that expires today. And so now all I have left to do that actually is time sensitive is I have my bingo call for today, which is Royal Games. Only have to put 100 stitches in that. And then I have a challenge that I'm working on. I have all the way to the 25th to work on it. But if I wanted to use Royal Games for it, I'd have to put in at least 300 stitches in it. So we shall see. Since I only have to do 100 for one thing, that may be all I get today. I may pick a different whip to do that with later on. But I want to share with you where I got to on Pandemic, because you've been so kind to follow along with me on this journey for this epic piece. So we've been talking about this variegation, it is quite a range from light to dark. These ranges in the threads look wonderful. You can see everything beautifully. But when you get down into this section, unless you are looking really close, you lose the pattern. And so I made the hard decision when I looked at it and decided I wasn't liking that I am going to stitch. This is the end of the top row right here. I'm going to stitch to the page, bottom of the page, and then I'll go across here and I'll find maybe this will be the bottom. I will finish off just what I need to make that even across, all the way across the bottom. And I'm going to make this into a pillow that will sit on my bench in my sewing room. It's a wide bench. The pillow will fit there beautifully. And I'm going to make it to fit there for like a bolster pillow to go behind your back. But that way I will get to see the beauty of the stitching. I can pick it up and look at it really close, and that way I can see all of the pattern in it. And I won't have wasted all that time and energy and effort. I will actually get to use it and do something with it. But today I concentrated over here. I started on this X up in here, and I stitched all of this column, and I stitched that there's a little mouse sitting on that shelf. And so I've got all that done. I just came straight down and across, down and across, down and across. I'll do that to the bottom of the page, and then I'll come in here and fill in what I need to do here. And hopefully then I can get this across here pretty quickly and make my pillow. So I would love to do that by the end of the year, if I can, but there's still a good bit of stitching to do in there, so we shall see. But I got that done today. I'm so excited, but I hope you've had a great day of stitching. I know I have, and I hope that I have something to share with you again tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is Saturday morning. It is the 19th of August. And I have been stitching. I had to catch up this morning. I didn't get a chance to stitch my bingo call for yesterday, which for me was Royal Games 1 on the number that was called, which was 10. And so I will remind you of what mine looks like. And I have turned the picture upside down because I am stitching on the Queen of Spades right now. And I started working on this fluff of her sleeve. I think it's sort of like a a lacy sleeve or something like that. So here is where I got to today. I stitched this color. I didn't quite complete it, but I needed 100 stitches and this was 123. So I went ahead and stopped there because I have more stitching to do today and I just wanted to meet this requirement. I can't move ahead on my bingo and do today's pull until I finish this one. So I went ahead and stopped at 123 stitches. I think it's enough that you can at least tell I touched it. And we'll go from there. Oh, I forgot sometime to tell you, this is pixie dust fabric from Silk Weaver, and I have the other half of this for the other pattern with the other two queens on it. I've just heard from my son who's going to come up and have dinner with us tonight for his dad's birthday. So I'm looking forward to that. But until he gets here, I get to stitch. So there's a call today on my bingo group, and it says to work on a whip go call. Well, I could do nativity. I probably should do nativity, but I'm not in the headspace to do that today. And I've been working on my sampler for all seasons, which is a whip go call for the month. And I think I'm going to pull it back out and put some more work into it. I only need 100 stitches to meet this prompt. So there you go. I have another prompt that I could use it for. And that prompt requires, let me see how many stitches, 300. So I'll probably pull it out, put my 300 in it. I'll do 100 and post it in that group. And then I'll put another 200 in it and finish up that prompt. And then I can just start moving forward. Well, thanks so much. For all of you who do watch my videos, I appreciate it. I appreciate all your kind comments. And I enjoy the conversations that we get to have, both in email and in comments. And so I love getting to know you that way. Well, I'm going to get back to stitching. I hope you're stitching, and I'll talk to you soon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Well, it's been a lovely, lovely day here. Our son was able to come up this afternoon. We had presents with my husband for his birthday, which is tomorrow. And then we went to eat at a fish place that my husband really, really likes. Our son got crab legs. He wanted that for his birthday treat. And my husband got his blackened fish. And I got shrimp. And we had just a lovely, lovely dinner. We went early because this place gets really crowded really fast. We got there at 4:30, placed our order, and before our food was on our table, there was not an empty table left in the restaurant. It was filling up. So our son came back and hung out with us for just a little bit, and then he had to head home because he has a very early day tomorrow. They've had some equipment failures at his office. The repairmen have been in this weekend, and now my son is going to work all day tomorrow to get all of their instruments ready for their Monday. And they're limping along with some reduced number of equipment to be able to work with. So my son said it'll probably be a 12 to 15 hour day tomorrow. He plans on starting work about 6:30, which is why we really couldn't celebrate my husband and Coco's birthday on the birthday. But tomorrow will be for Coco. Tommy and I will take her to a little pet store and let her pick out a toy and maybe a special treat. And we'll just take her to play, and it'll be her day tomorrow. So today, this afternoon, while I was waiting on my son to get here, because he worked late last night, so he slept late this morning, I was able to stitch. And I pulled out my bingo call, my little bingo group. The call was number 2, and for me, it was to work on one of my whip go calls. So I've worked on this one recently, and I wanted to work on it to kind of finish out the lettering if I could. And this is called a sampler for all seasons. And I was working on the wording up here and here. And I finished it. So I have now completed the wording on the first and second pages. So the next time I pick this up, I will be working, I can start on this line down here, and then I will have border and a vine and more words to do in the middle. If I wanted to break up the words a little bit, I can come over here now on this end and I could do another one of the squares, which I might do just for a little difference. Get the other square over here and bring the border around and down. That might be fun. But I am loving this. I am really enjoying it. It's stitching up quickly, and I really, really like that. So I did my 100 stitches and posted it for my little bingo group. Then I looked at my final challenge prompt that I needed for my National Friendship Week in the Daily 30 group. And I was to stitch on a whip of choice and tell how I met one of my stitching friends. So I let this be my whip of choice because I needed 300 stitches minimum, and I had 100 in, and that I went ahead and finished out by doing 200 more. And I wound up with 347 stitches total for today on this one. So, got that one taken care of. Now I have the choice of either stitching on another prompt in the Daily 30 group on one of my challenges, or just picking up anything I want to stitch on and stitch on it a little bit today until my bingo call tomorrow. I'll get the number tonight and I'll have to stitch on it tomorrow. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I will probably share it with you in the morning. I have been working on a video today, and I need to go finish putting in all the wording and get it uploaded. So it's saved, I think, and now I can put all the wording in and finish it out and let you see it. And I want to share it with you because it's got my crinkles in it. So I've had a lovely day because my husband was happy and my son was happy, and now Coco is happy. My husband has taken her into the North Hall County, and he's taking her on a huge hike in the woods where it's cooler, and they're taking plenty of time together, and she was excited to go. So I'm going to take this little bit of quiet time I have. I'm going to do some stitching, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is August 20th, Sunday. It's my husband's birthday. Happy birthday, Tommy. Today, I started stitching probably about 8 o'clock at night. We had a busy, busy day today. It was my husband's birthday, so we went out for a special lunch together, and then we had, of course, our church obligations, and we had a deacon's meeting this evening, so extra stuff. And it was Coco's birthday as well. She was born on my husband's birthday, and so today she turns 4. And we took Coco to the pet store today and let her pick out a treat. We offered her the chance to pick out a toy, and do you know that she didn't find a single toy she wanted? I was surprised. I even offered her 2 or 3 I thought she might like. She wasn't interested. She was more interested in finding something that smelled good to her to eat. I don't know. So we got her 2 of those. And she ate one right there in the shop. The minute we gave it to her, we let her get it off the counter after we paid for it. She dropped right to the floor and started eating it. And of course, I have video of her running through the store. My husband's almost having to run to keep up with her. She's going up and down every aisle looking for what they used to have. They used to have a little, what my husband called a smorgasbord. They had a shelf that had all the different types of doggy treats open, so the dogs could kind of pick what they liked, or you could pick, some of each to try. But it was just like a buffet for Coco, and she would go in there and eat whatever she wanted, and then Tom would have to pay for all of it. They have learned and they've moved that, and that's what she was looking for. She went up and down every aisle looking for that buffet. It wasn't there. Anyway, but happy birthday, Coco, my sweet girl. My husband has her out for a long walk now. And I got to do a little bit of stitching. My bingo call for today was my number 9, which for me was spring quilt. And so I pulled it out. I only had to have 100 stitches in it. I checked, and my challenge from my daily 30 group is a minimum of 100 stitches this week, maximum of 200 for points. You can do more than that, but you won't get any extra points unless you do double what's called for. But one of the prompts in that challenge was to stitch on a whip that you have either many of those from the same designer or the same style. Well, spring quilt fit because I have the quilts for the whole seasons. I have spring, fall, winter, and summer. And this one has all of them on the back. So those are the 4 I have to do. I have all 4 of them ready to go. And I started with spring because when I started it, it was in the spring. So this will remind you of what it looks like when it will be finished at some point. And I'm working in that massive middle section. So today I did 128 stitches more on this roof. I had started up here and had part of this one done, and I finished this dark color up here, a couple of places in here, and then I did this whole section down here, and it wound up getting 128 stitches before I ran out of that thread, and I decided that would meet both goals and I would move on. So I don't know that I'll get any more stitching done tonight since it's my husband's birthday. He wants me to watch a TV show with him. I'm going to go do that, and I will pick my stitching back up sometime tomorrow. We have a busy day tomorrow. My husband has to go do blood work, and then we are having breakfast together. That'll be fun. Then we have some errands to run, and I'm guessing we'll get home sometime late morning or around lunchtime, somewhere in there. But I'm hoping to get to stitch the rest of the afternoon, and I do know I get to stitch Monday night with a Zoom group. So I'm excited about that, and that means I'll get at least to get something done tomorrow, and I can come back and share it with you. But I just had to tell you about our fun day with Coco and celebrating my husband's birthday and, you know, all the activities that we had today. We had a lovely day, and I topped it off with getting to stitch, which was my favorite thing of the whole day, but don't tell anybody. We had a really good day. Well, I'm going to let you get back to what you were doing. I'm going to kind of reorganize here, put this project away. Maybe I'll get the call for tomorrow before I go downstairs, and then I can get it set up ready for when I get home tomorrow. I would love to be able to do that, but great that I was able to meet one of my prompts tonight. I was really happy about that. So I will look forward to maybe doing the same tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Monday, August 21st, and I want to share with you a little bit about my stitching today. I had a bingo call of the number 1, which was my autumn bell pull, and in addition to that being my bingo call for 100 stitches, I was using it to meet a prompt in one of my daily 30 groups, and that prompt was to stitch on a project that you started out kind of slow with, and that now that you're getting further along in it, you're loving it a lot more, and you're stitching on it all the time. So that fit very well with my autumn bell pull. It has taken me a long time to get through all these letters. I'm on this letter N, And today I finished the letter portion. 205 stitches to wrap up the letter N. It's mostly this tail right there. I needed 100 for my bingo group, but I needed 200 for my daily 30 group. That was the maximum stitches, so I went ahead and stitched till the N was completed, and that's how I got the 205 stitches that I put in. Now, since I finished Kringles, I have declared my next project that I want to try to split up into sections and work on for a finish would be my autumn bell pull. The end of ABC goes on the 25th of the month. So I would have 5 additional days at the end of the month to do anything on that I hadn't finished. So I am setting a goal to finish my autumn bell pull in September. And I'm using my ABC Go to help me do that, which is great. So that's my plan. That's what I'm hoping to accomplish. I did get a little bit of stitching today on that. I'm going to be getting a little more stitching here in a few minutes. I have a Zoom call in about 7 minutes. I've got to find what I'm going to stitch on. I think I may pull out my July wordplay. It's the next piece that's closest to a finish, and I may wind up stitching on it tonight just while we're Zooming because it's easy enough to count and work on, and that would be great. It's also on my plans for my AB Singo board for September, but I think it's only on there twice. So the more I get done on it tonight, the better off I am. That's fine. That'll work out just great. I'm loving this push for finishes. I'm loving getting some of my whips caught up and finished and off my plate so that I can have some new things at the start of the new year. I can plan for some new starts next year. And I think that's great. And I've got a couple of really big projects that I want to get off my plate. And pandemic is one of them. So autumn bell pull will be my next one up, I hope. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you have a great evening of stitching. I get to go tomorrow to stitch with a friend. I'm so excited. I get to talk to my sister in the morning. And then as soon as we get off the phone, I will head out the door and go stitch with my friend Juliana. So I'm excited about doing that. And I need to pick out what I'm going to take with me tonight before I leave this room. So I'll have to figure that out too. But I hope you've got some wonderful plans, unless you don't like plans, and then stitch whatever you want whenever you want, and it'll be fine. But until I have more to share with you, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. This is Tina. It is the 22nd of August. It's been a crazy day. It is 8 o'clock already in the evening. We are going through quite a few events in our family to get Tommy ready to go on his hike, to get some things wrapped up at church. I'm in the middle of prepping for the emporium at our church, so I have lots of assignments I'm doing and meetings I'm doing and selling tickets at different events at the church, and so our time is not our own right now. But one of the things that my husband does before he goes on these long hikes is that he has a checkup, and he makes sure that everything's good, that his stamina is good, that his iron is good, because he has a tendency to be anemic. And so he's got all that checked out as of today, and he always likes for me to go with him when he's going to get to talk to one of his providers, just so I know what's going on and can help him remember all of his questions and things like that. So today we had appointments, and then I had stitching with a friend for a little while today, and then I had to rush back home because my husband was changing spark plugs in his car and realized he had a committee meeting at church, and he didn't want to run the car and get it hot again because he couldn't change his spark plugs when he got finished. Anyway, I had to get on so that he could, borrow my car. So I've had a little bit of stitching time this morning. I was talking with my sister this morning, and in fact, I was talking with her so enjoyably that I was late getting to my appointment. All of a sudden, I looked at the clock and said, I gotta go. I'm supposed to be somewhere in 5 minutes. I'm not gonna make it. So I let them know I was on the way, and they were gracious about that. But I just went over my head. We were having such a great conversation. Anyway, so while I was talking with my sister this morning, I stitched on July wordplay. It's not for a prompt. Did you hear that? It's not for a prompt. It was something I felt I could do while I was chatting. And, you know, I didn't stitch the whole time I was chatting. I would stitch off and on. But if we were just sitting there and talking about something that, you know, I had pretty much was just giving her dates and times of what I was going to be doing in the coming future, or if I was listening to, you know, information from her of something she had seen or read, we can talk about that and share about that. So some of it I could easily stitch and not paying attention, you know. So I stitched off and on. But I want to share with you what I got, because this one's getting close. This one's getting close. This one's starting to make me itch. This is what it looks like in the pattern. And here's what my stitching looks like as of this evening when I got back home. Look at that. That looks pretty full, doesn't it? Well, here is what I have left. So I have a fish and the word July up at the top that'll go over here on the top up here. And then I have the mermaid and the boat right here. And that's it. That is all I have left. Now the mermaid is one of the heavier stitched areas, but even so, it's not as big as this one. But I have two little sections that I probably could finish fairly easily. I do have this on my September AB Singo. I have it twice, and I have two sections on here. So at a minimum, I should be able to finish this next month, which will be great. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 little stars, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, that go around these motifs as well that I don't have in there yet. But they'll, you know, there are a few stitches each. So I could pair some of those up here, and then I could do this whole section the second time that I need stitches. It could be that I don't even get to use it twice because I have to do 100 stitches. And I'm not sure. I'm sure there's 2 sets of 100 in here. So this is ready to be finished in September when it's called for AB Singo, and that is my plan. And that's my hope that that will happen. So I'm going to move it out of the way now. So I told you I got to go stitch with a friend, and I went to her house, and she's quite the hostess. We had a great time, and I got to stitch, and I looked at my bingo board with my North Alabama Stitcher group, and my call for today was Welcoming Christmas. So I had to get 100 stitches in Welcoming Christmas, and I'll remind you as to which one that is. It's this one right here, my little animal stack. And when you last saw it, I had finished all the black stitching in all these little spots, and I had finished the belly across here. So I had all of this part to do. Everything from the black over. So today I was just stitching away, stitching away, stitching away, and I got this done. I am tickled to death. I have all of the reef on this side of the head done. This will be the top of the head, and then the whole face is in here. And then there's a little wreath on the other side. And then there's a chicken on top. I have a tiny bit of color left to put into the leg up to this wreath, the leg and neck up to the wreath, which will be finished very, very easily, very quickly. So the biggest portion now is going to be the cow's face, that little bit of wreath on the other side, and then that chicken up there, and then the back stitching. There's quite a bit of back stitching left to do. I haven't done back stitching in the sheep up here, and I haven't done back stitching in the cow, and then the most of it is right in here in this wreath. So this one's still a ways away from being finished. I do have it on my September AB Singo with the magazine monthly challenge, and I have it on there, I think 3 or 4 times. So again, this will be a goal to try to finish this in September. Wouldn't that be fun to get 2 more finishes next month and get 2 more whips off of my plate? But I am very tickled that I've got that much stitching in today. I am tickled. So for the July wordplay, that was 358 stitches, and for my Welcome Christmas, it was 360 stitches. So I got just about the exact amount of stitching done this morning as I did this afternoon, but the one this afternoon on Welcoming Christmas, as you can tell, was quite confetti heavy. There are 3 or 4 colors of red in this bow, and there are 3 to 4 colors of green in there, and then there's 2 different colors of yellow in the bells plus white. So anyway, there's a lot of confetti in here. So it took me a lot longer to get these 360 stitches than it did this morning getting the 358 when I had beautiful blocks of coloring, especially like the lettering, you know, that's all one color. You don't have to change. But I'm happy that that's done. I don't know what the call is for tomorrow. I'm waiting for it to be posted so that I can get it ready for in the morning. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, just a routine cleaning, but it's right smack dab in the middle of the day. How did I do that? Anyway, it's right at noon. So it messes up your day. You can't get a rhythm going. And then I have another appointment at 2:30 tomorrow. So I have a lot happening tomorrow again. In addition to that, then I have choir at 6:45, 6:50, somewhere in there. So I'll be in the road a lot tomorrow. I will anxiously await the call for tomorrow on what I'm stitching, and then I'll get it ready for in the morning and get my day started bright and early. I hope you're having a great week of stitching. I've appreciated so much the comments that you have made, wishing my husband and my son and Coco happy birthday. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. And in the meantime, until I have more stitching to share with you, happy stitching to each of you. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is Thursday, August 24th, and I need to catch up with you. I have had some stitching going on in small pieces, and I haven't taken time to record them because it would be so late at night, or I would be rushing out the door, helping my husband get ready for his trip, running errands with him. So let me catch you up. On the 23rd, my bingo call with my North Alabama group turned out to be Halloween Quaker. So I had to pick between this motif or the one that has all the spiders in it. This one down here, it's hard for you to see, but that's the one. I decided to do the cat one because I decided to just go ahead and work a little bit more on that side. So that's what I did. I did 239 stitches. I only needed 100, but I wanted to see how the colors were going to play together and how it was going to look. And so there's the beginning of that motif. Here's the whole piece so far. And then here's the beginning of the motif that I stitched the 239 stitches in. I did that cat that's turned on its side, as you can see, and I did the purple that it's a design is got these 4 corners poking out, and there's 4 cats around it. But that's how much I got done. And I went ahead and posted it because I only needed 100 stitches, and I had actually stitched 239, and that's about all the stitching I got done that day. And I was rushing around busy, so I didn't record it. So thanks for letting me catch you up with that. Then on the, that was yesterday. Then I got busy today, and my call for this morning was my By the Bay piece, my 13th colony. So this is the piece I had to stitch 100 stitches on for today. So I pulled it out, and this is the one I'm working on, the part 2, 13th colony part 2, and I am on this side over here, and I actually put in just 271 stitches in this one. And so the area I worked on was down at the bottom across there. I got 2 colors in that shoreline there. And then I came up here and started on the boat so that I would have it placed appropriately, and I can do all the sails and things, and then I can fill in around it. So that's what I did to get my 271 stitches today. I'll show you the whole thing so far. Isn't that pretty? I think this is going to make a beautiful piece for my living room. So that was this morning's bingo call, and now we have 1 call left, and for me it will be the center square, and it will give me my bingo that I need to complete this month's challenge with them. And it will be Autumn in the Country. So I know what I'm working on tomorrow, but they don't even have to pull the number because that's the only one left. So after I finished working on that By the Bay today, I had a call with a couple of friends scheduled for today, and unfortunately one of my friends could not join us because she had an accident right before the call and wound up breaking a couple of her toes. Oh, that sounds so painful. But I did wind up talking to one friend, Mary, and we talked more than we stitched. I didn't get a whole lot done, but I wanted to be stitching on something, talking with Mary, so I had reached back and pulled out my July word play. And I have a picture of that, what it's supposed to look like, right here. There's the July wordplay. And I didn't have a whole lot left to do on it, but I did get started, and I think I did about, I don't think I did but 69 stitches or so in it while we were talking. But when my husband and I had dinner with 3 other couples tonight, we were all talking about our experiences traveling and cruising, and seeing if anybody wanted to do the same cruises down the road, that sort of thing. And it was just a lovely dinner. And we got home, and I sat down, and I continued stitching until I put in the final 242 stitches, and I finished my July wordplay. So here it is. I think that's so cute. Trying to get it close enough where you can see it out of the glare. There's the month July, and you'll see all the little fishes across the top. And then you've got that first boat I think I had mentioned before. I think it's George Washington crossing the Delaware, and then this is a Little Mermaid, but I think it's precious. And now it's finished. Yay! It has all the little water bubbles. I think that's what those are in there, or splashes or whatever. But that's the finish. So that completes another one of my whips. So that takes me down to 21. And I had already put this in my acrostic twice for my AB Singo. So now I've got to go back to that and put a different J in there. And the only J I can think of right off the bat is my Just Nan, Autumn in the Country. So I need to go look and see what I need to do to that. But July wordplay's done. Excited about that. So I'm going to take a picture of it, post it in my Stitch from Stash, so that I can get credit for that on my little budget, and go from there. But I hope you've had a great day of stitching, or a couple of days of stitching, which has been the case with me before I've come back and had a chance to catch you up. But it's gone well, and I've enjoyed it. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll get new challenges out tomorrow. Can't wait to see what they are, and see what I get to stitch to meet them. In the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. It's Dina, and I am here on August 25th. I want to share with you the completion of my bingo board with my friends in Alabama that we've been working on. Today was day 25. So I finished the final one. I'll show you what my board looks like. Each one of the days, as they were called, I colored in the little tiny square at the top of the frame that shows the number. So that was the number it was called. I wrote the date here so I would know if I got behind which ones I had to do in what order, because you were supposed to stitch them in the order that they were called. And that way, if I got behind, I could keep up with which ones should be done next. And then as I did them, I struck through them. This little bingo game is different in that we have a different path of bingo that's designated each month. And sometimes it's a path like this that's normal, and sometimes it's a picture, an image of something else. And so I had lightly colored these blue, and then when I stitched them, when they were called and I stitched them, I colored over them in my colored pencil, my green aqua colored pencil, to darken them. I probably should have shown you one with without the coloring on it, so you could see the difference, because you could tell the difference. But now the board is completely done. I X'd out all the others as I went through, and with the exception of, I think, 2 days, I got each day done in that day. It's only 100 stitches, and so I made that a priority to stitch that first, if at all possible, before I did anything else in the day. And because I put the same whips on here that were in my acrostics, when they were called on here, I would stitch the 100 stitches and put a picture in, and then I would finish the number of stitches I needed for my acrostic, and then post it there too. So I was going to be stitching on that anyway, and all this did was tell me what day to pull what. So that was lovely. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Today was the last day, and on the last day, the number that was called today was the dead center, number 13, because I had my numbers going straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to mix the numbers up next time, just so it's different. But this is what was number 13, Autumn in the Country. I have been loving on this and have been working on it quite a bit lately, and I'm thoroughly loving it. I don't know if it's because it's coming into the season of autumn that I have loved it so much. I'm not sure. But anyway, I have been working on it, and the colors are fabulous. So I'm going to pull it right out of my stand. I just finished it and show you what I did. So today I had to do 100 stitches. I started on this band right here that says Autumn, and then I did this little design that goes across there to finish it off. And that band I completed was 141 stitches. So I just did the whole band, posted it, and put it up. I didn't need this for any other acrostics because they were finished. And I have looked at the next challenge in the Daily 30 group, and the whips that I needed did not include this one. And that just started today, and I have 2 weeks to get it done, so I wasn't worried about it. So I didn't stitch extra on it today. I just went ahead and stitched that one band across. So what that does for me, though, is it brings the stitching complete down to here. I have the outside complete down to here, but inside I've got it complete to here. So the next time I pick this up, I'll be rolling it up so that I can get closer to the bottom as I'm working on it. But I'm really enjoying it, and it was fun to get to complete a whole band today. That was nice. I'm gonna put this away now and look and decide which prompt I want to stitch on out of my challenge in the Daily 30 group, and I'll pull that forward and start working on it next. In the meantime, before I have more to share with you, happy stitching to all of you. Hi everybody, welcome back. It is later on Friday, August the 25th, and I am here to let you know what I got done today. I was working on my new challenge from the Daily 30 group, and I was to stitch on a whip that was discovered on social media, either FlossTube or Instagram or something of that nature. And I saw Halloween Quaker on FlossTube. I saw it on 2 or 3 people's channels that they were working on, and I fell in love with it. And I thought about getting it, and I waited for a little while. It was one of those, I waited until I saw it the second or third time, and when I still wanted it, seeing it again, I decided that's it. That definitely means I want this piece. So I ordered it, and I had a piece of fabric in my stash that I wanted to use for the piece rather than the called for fabric, and I got started on it. So today I decided to pull it out and stitch on it for that challenge, and I could do a minimum of 200 stitches, a maximum of 300 stitches for the challenge itself, and I wound up doing 253 stitches. I even thought about going ahead and sticking with it till I hit 300, but it's getting later in the evening. My husband and I are going to watch a TV show together in a few minutes. He's walking Coco while I finish up my stitching for the day. So let me show you what that did for me. That finished up the outer motif of purple. There's a middle design in the purple, and then there are 3 more cats that I need to do. But I felt like that was a good stopping point, especially since I felt a little fatigued and I wanted to get busy doing something with my hubby. So that is my stitching for the rest of the day, what I was able to accomplish. So it's been a great day. Today was the 25th, so we finished our little bingo game, the North Alabama Stitchers. We finished that. We got the Whip Go draws, so I'll tell you about that in a second. And then I was able to view my new challenge in my Daily 30 group, and got my first prompt in that as well. So that is awesome. So let's talk about Whip Go. I still have a Whip Go piece I haven't finished yet, and that is Nativity. I need 4 more hours on Nativity. I'm going to try to put some in it if I can tomorrow, because I do have a good day for stitching tomorrow. Our son is not going to be here this weekend. He's got to work, and which is unusual, but they've had some equipment failures. I think I've mentioned that before at work, and they're not able to get as much done every day because they're having to use just, one piece of equipment at a time. And so he'll be working this weekend to try to get things ready for next week. So he's not going to be here, but he has promised me he'll be here the next weekend. The next weekend is when he has to cook. So I'm hoping he doesn't have to work. Anyway, so Other than Nativity, I completed all of my Whip Go projects that were called for in the month of August. So that's great. I'm up to date with everything except Nativity. And I do still have some days in August. So my hope is that I will get them done in the end of this month. So that's good. So what does that mean for the month of September for Whip Go? Well, the numbers that were called today by Jessie Marie were numbers 15 and 1. So on my holiday seasonal board, number 15 is Autumn in the Village. And that's the one I have that's on 36 count. And I'll get to put 5 hours in that next month. Welcoming Christmas, that's my little animal stack. And it's interesting because I have it on my wish list. I have a little stitching wish list for next month that I would like to finish it next month. So 5 hours ought to really push that one toward a finish. So I'm real happy about that. On my regular board, my number 15 is a new start, and it's just to begin the whip or the pattern stitch box. This was a gift to me from my friend Marissa. She purchased it at StitchCon in 2019 and then gifted it to me, and I've been waiting to work on it ever since. So I've been scared of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. My goal on Whip Go is to stitch one section of the box. So you know I'm gonna find the smallest one available and I'll stitch on it. But it reminds me a little bit of the Blackbird Designs one that I'm doing, the Casting a Spell, where you have all the little different sections and they go in a box. This one is very similar, and so I can find one of the sections and stitch it, I hope. And the number 1 on that board is also a new start, and it is called Love Mom, and it's a very small pattern from Hindsight, and it has a little charm to go in it, and I actually have it down there to start and finish it in the month of September. So hopefully I will. So that's my Whip Go board. This we'll be working on. Now, we talked about A.B. Singo, and I mentioned that I had, you know, put everything on that board, and then I turned around and finished July Wordplay. So let me just update you a little bit on that. For the J for my A.B. Singo, I had to change that out because it was July Wordplay. And instead I put in just Nan, which is my Autumn in the Country. And I just worked on that earlier today, so that'll be fun to get to pull that out again next month. And then on another piece, here it is. My pages got separated there. I had for Y my youngest whip. And at that time, when I made up the list, my youngest whip was, I thought, July Wordplay. But as I look back at the dates to replace it, I think I might have been mistaken by that. I'm not sure. But my Cranberry Christmas is actually my youngest whip now. And so I changed that out from July Wordplay for my youngest whip, for the Y, to Cranberry Christmas. So I have that board ready to go as well. And that pretty much catches you up, I think. So I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to go ahead and join my husband downstairs to watch the TV show he wants to watch. I will let you get back to stitching. I hope that's what you're doing. And I will talk to you as soon as I have something new to share with you. Happy stitching, everybody. Coco's birthday today. We're going shopping for her birthday. She knows where we're headed. She recognized it when we turned into the parking lot. She gets excited. Coco gets to pick a toy. play today. And she gets to pick a treat.
Oh no, here we go.
Birthday.
There he is. There it is. Look, look, there it is. Can you see it? What is it? No, hold on. Wait for me. Stay. Stay right there. Stay. Let's go. Wait.
She's in a hurry.
This has to stay.
Come over here, Coco. There's more. She's very selective today. Coco's made her selection. Daddy's got to pay for it. That's yours, baby. She left that on the floor. Oh, now it's gonna eat it. That's yours, Coco. Okay, now you're breaking it up. That's good. That's a good girl. Happy birthday, baby girl. Still eating, Daddy. out the floor. She's making a mess.
Yeah, a couple more. Look, right here. Right there. And I thought it was another piece. That's one right there. Let's go. All right.
All right, birthday shopping's over.